All right, guys. So when you work in media and a lot of other companies, NASA, airplanes, anything that has to do with where company secrets, where you have a cult of personality, and I worked in the news and I worked in TV and stuff like that before. What's a non-competition clause? So a non-competition clause is basically a contract you sign, especially like it happens a lot in TV and all, where it says, like, if I live in Philadelphia, I'll sign a non-competition clause if you hire me at ABC News, but that in Philadelphia, but I can't go be the weatherman at NBC News if I lose my job here. I have to go somewhere else. I can go and work in Los Angeles, but I can't work, say, anywhere in the viewing area. But why would that affect YouTubers? Because like a YouTuber like me, I'm me. That's it. I don't have what am I going to do? Sign a clause to myself? If I don't want to do junkyards and bar finds anymore, I just don't do it. You'll notice channels like Vice Grip Garage have Vice Grip Garage, and they're also on Motor Trend. Now, and that's because the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, somehow got nullified that you can't have non-competition clauses anymore in contracts. Now, Richard from Gas Monkey Garage, if I'm remembering right, and I could be wrong, and I don't want to get sued or nothing, but just going by what I've seen over the years, because I used to watch Gas Monkey Garage a lot, he had a non-competition clause, according to him, with, I believe, Discovery Networks. And this Discovery is really big on non-competition clauses. So when he quit, or when they canceled his show, it cost a lot of money for him to go and become a YouTuber until now. Because before, you had to buy out your non-competition clause, even if they would sell it, which a lot of times they didn't. So that may be why you're seeing all these, like Donut and Hoonigan and all these channels where people are leaving, because they're not going to be able to get sued anymore. Now, if you're like me though, did you even know there was like a whole staff and companies and everything else that were running these places? Let me explain. As soon as I get back, let me explain. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Hey guys, it's Sean here. I want to talk a little bit. It's not going to be long. I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm sure I appreciate everybody that watches my channel, but I also watch other people's channels. And one of the channels that I had originally watched was Donut Media, and another one was called Hoonigans. You guys have seen HOONIGAN, and they've been around for probably a couple years before I started my channel. And one of the things I always liked about it, I thought, man, there's like 5 people and they must work their butts off. They come up with cool ideas about cars. They deal with cars. They build cars. These 5 people are just knocking it out of the park. And it really wanted me to start my channel. And there's other channels around, and a lot of the bigger channels that you see 1 or 2 people, or maybe 3 or 4 people out front. And these channels are making millions of dollars and stuff. And like Cletus McFarland's channel, right? Like Cletus has a couple of those guys, and now suddenly, and I'm not talking Cletus, but like Hoonigan, Donut, a couple of these other big ones, people are leaving. All their on-air talent is leaving, and now we're finding out people behind the scenes are leaving. And here's the funny thing, I didn't even realize they were behind the scenes people. And So my channel pretty much is me. I am the writer, director, producer, in front of the camera talent, behind the camera talent, driver, food service, craft service, you name it, I'm it. Occasionally, April is on the show. Occasionally. Other times I've had other people, but if any of you have ever met me in person or seen me, it's me and a couple GoPros. And that's pretty much it. And it's been that way for over 850 videos in 3 years. And it's been that way for 5.3 million people who have watched this channel. I'm not rich in any sense. I make a little bit of a living off of this, and I supplement it with other things. But I used to sit there and go, man, you know, it must be great to have 5 people like at Donut, you know, the 4 or 5 people, or Hoonigans when they're at the front or whatever, all these other shows, and you pick the one that are spending millions of dollars, you know. And they're all good, you know. Diesel, I mean, his stuff is great. All these people are great, but here's the thing. Up until recently, now that all these people are putting these goodbye videos and everybody's quitting the big automotive channels, behind the scenes, those guys are paid for by investors and conglomerates that are buying these things, and that's why people are leaving now, because they don't have the creative control, they don't have the creatives that they used to have. And the funny thing is, my videos pay for this channel. I don't have some big corporation paying me stuff. I don't have some big whatever sugar daddy, sugar mama, sugar anything that's giving me money. I mean, I basically make money for this channel based on you guys viewing it. That's it. The truck project we have out there that we're doing, the OBS truck, our Ford F-150 that we're rebuilding, all that money is coming from you guys and from me having a regular job. I mean, honestly, you guys don't realize this, but up until I got hurt about 2 or 3 months ago, I had regular jobs. I was a school teacher for the first 2.5 years. I taught middle school science, and then I was unemployed for a long time, and used the money from this channel, and thanks to you guys, was making enough on this channel I could use it to go on power tours and all this other stuff and pay all my bills. And then I had other jobs, and I had another job where I was working sometimes 60 hours a week to pay my bills and live, and also put this channel out. And the weird thing is, I've been able to put out 850 some videos, from building models to going to races to traveling 100,000 miles around this country, going to car shows and racetracks and junkyards and you name it, and we do it. I mean, go look at all the different stuff. I've found barn finds from Pennsylvania to New Jersey to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, all over the place. And you know who that is? It's me. Sometimes it was me in April traveling. Sometimes my friend Melissa, who I was in the military with, Melissa would help. Sometimes I had my brother with me, a couple friends here and there. But now I can see why I would look and see these channels worth millions of dollars and go, how do you get to be millions of dollars? Well, they would have 12 or 15 writers. They had 2 or 3 or 4 full-time editors. They had a sales marketing team that went out and got sponsors. And they would have on-air talent. One of the guys from Donut said he got hired a couple of years back, and he goes, I only made $60,000 as a salary my first year. My first year, you know, was whatever it is I made in views is what we made in views. And it's my 4th year coming up. And it's based on views, and it's based on a couple little side deals here and there that people pay me for this or pay me for that. But I don't have a sales team. I'm my sales team. You know, I'm my quality control, everything team. And that's why, like right now, where I'm hurt and I can't go out and really do much, it's like I was feeling bad. But then I'm seeing all these people from all these channels putting up these, we just quit, we just left, we are leaving, all these channels. I mean, I'm looking at one now from one of the writers that was on Donut, putting up there why everyone's quitting big automotive YouTube channels. Well, geez, that must have been nice for 5 or 7 years where you had editors and all, and that you were only making $60,000 salary. I pretty much spent every dollar that we made on this channel traveling to bring you guys videos, buying better equipment, editing, staying up and editing. Honestly, you want to see my editing suite? For real, right now, my editing suite is my remote control is this computer and this computer, that hard drive, and this bag of 2 terabyte hard drives. Right there is all the raw video, and all the videos is kept in that. One of these 2 terabyte hard drives, I just buy them, edit on here, and uploaded it with first the red laptop, now the silver laptop, and I really started with that laptop. I wish I could show you the cameras I have, but I have 2 GoPro cameras here. But I started with a phone, which was a 10-year-old iPhone. For real, 10 years old. I still have it. In fact, when I went to get my new phone, they wouldn't even take it as a trade-in. They said it's so old. Like, how did it even run? It was before... they didn't even think it actually worked, and I used it up until this year. So I appreciate all you guys, but I also wanted to make this to let you know that it doesn't take $1 million to have a pretty fun channel that people like. You know, I feel really good about myself today that I've had the amount of views that I've had, the amount of success that we've had, that I have followers. God, you guys are awesome. 22,000 followers. I get 150 to 200,000 views on an average month, sometimes a lot more, sometimes a lot less. I've got a couple really viral videos that have gone by over the years. And, you know, I'm a creative person. I've written 41 books, a lot of children's books. I was an artist for a while. Had my own newspaper column way back in the early 90s up in Georgia, and worked in TV and films. And like I said, you've seen now that I'm putting up a lot of stuff about working in the music industry, touring with concerts and stuff like that, doing roadie stuff, stagehand stuff. So I just it just blew me away that some of these channels, which I thought were 5 or 6 people coming together and trying to be successful, literally had what I used to see when I was in television, which is the whole reason to get into YouTube, is just to have fun and go out and do stuff. And now I hope and I pray that all these guys that are leaving, that walked into something that was basically a corporation who put out content just like NBC, CBS, or HBO, can now really work and be a YouTuber. Because now I'm looking at some of these channels, and I'm not looking at them with disdain. I'm not looking at them with envy. I'm not looking at them with anything other than, well, you know, it's like when I sit here and I watch HBO put up a YouTube channel, or if I watch, you know, Discovery Channel put up a YouTube channel. Now I didn't realize that Donut, Hoonigan, and some of these other channels were basically just media companies that looked like YouTube. So now that they're hosts and some of the people behind the scenes, that are now that you guys know. You know, I mean, there's people leaving Motor Trend now to start their own channels, but then Motor Trend's backing them. Or you have some channels that look like they are individual channels, but realistically, they're part of Motor Trend, or they're an outlet for a couple $1 million from one of O'Reilly's, which you know is one of my favorite. I shouldn't say they weren't my favorite, because they're actually one of my. I've made a lot of money off my O'Reilly's video that I did, so I mean, hats off to them. I made more money on the video than I ever did being there working with them. But anyway, what I really want to just say is, you know, I'm kind of it made me feel better, and I hope it makes you feel better if you're a small YouTuber like I am, you know, 20, 30, 40,000 people. You know, like I said, I've put out, I'll probably have a 1,000 videos by myself, edited by myself, which my background working in TV news, when I worked in TV news, which I did for a while, I went to film school at FSU and worked in the movies, but I also worked in local TV news, so I learned how to edit news stories very quickly, because when you work for like your local news, I've worked at a couple TV news stations, and working with them, you go out and you shoot 3 or 4 stories a day. A lot of it's called one-man band, where you're the only guy. You're the cinematographer, the videographer, whatever you want to call it. You're the producer. You're it. You got a camera, a stick, or a tripod, and you have to tell the story. And then you have to get back and you have to edit it. You go out at 7 a.m. You shoot until 1:30 in the afternoon, and then edit. And it used to go on the 5 o'clock news, or the 6 o'clock news, or the 11 o'clock news. So, you know, I got used to doing that. So luckily with me, I can edit really quick, because I can see something. I usually try to edit it in my head. And sorry, I'm fighting Chloe. Hi, say hi, Chloe. Yeah, hi. Yeah, she's just, we got 4 dogs here, and this one here just decides she's going to be one of the stars of this show. She doesn't really, it's not really a help. But she has actually her own YouTube channel, though, her and Daisy, called The Adventures of Chloe and Daisy, right, Chloe? And anyway, getting back to, I think that for those of you who want to start, and people, including myself, that will look and go, oh my God, they have, you know, millions of views and all this kind of stuff. Somebody else is paying a lot of their bills. And, you know, is it somebody who just wants to be a YouTuber? Is it somebody who has a used car dealer? I mean, another channel I like, Flying Wheels, and I like Flying Wheels, and I watch it, and I just wish he would get back to what he used to do. But you know, when he was like, he went down to some of the car auctions down here in Florida, and he brought a whole, you know, he was like, oh, I got a whole video crew. Well, as somebody who worked in television and movies and filmed and owned a company called Young Punks Films, I know how much back in the early 2000s, I knew it would cost $10,000 to $15,000 a day to hire a boom mic sound guy, a videographer, shot list, location scouts, all this kind of stuff. Because I used to own a company, and we used to do that for people. I've made TV shows and stuff, and I've worked on TV shows as a producer. I've worked on things in all kinds of, so I had an idea of what they're spending. And it's crazy. I mean, if you look at Vice Grip Garage and you look at Derek, go look at Motor Trend. Go look at all the people at the end of Motor Trend that have to do Derek's show on Motor Trend, right? His show on Motor Trend is pretty much the same show he does on Vice Grip Garage. Now, Vice Grip Garage, he used to, and I've been watching him for at least 6 years, and maybe before then. And it used to just be him with a camera or his phone, and his wife would edit. I believe she edited the stuff. And this is when they were living in Minnesota. And I will tell you, I think that his Vice Grip Garage stuff, and now you see people walking around his garage in the background, and like he said, he works 8 days a week now because he has all these other deals going on. And O'Brien picks up the tab now, which they didn't before. And I'm not knocking him. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. But I watch Vice Grip Garage and Vice Grip Lodge, and even Little Vice Grip, his son's channel. I watch that all the time. I've met Derek a couple times. The dude has worked his way from bottom to top. But when I looked at his show and I saw all the people in the credits, I was like, oh, that's just sad. So, because there's a lot of suits and a lot of non-creatives, and if you see somebody who is just anything that says producer on it, for the most part, is somebody getting paid that has nothing to do with the show. They either thought it was a good idea, it's the girlfriend of somebody who thought it was a good idea, it's somebody who has connections to somebody and said, hey, I can get you money to do this, and that's all they ever did. It's really sad. And right now, I kind of feel good about my channel. For a long time recently, I'm like, how come I don't grow as much as some of these big channels? But now I realize they had a sales force of 15, 20 people. They had $1 million budgets. They were paying each person there $50,000, $60,000 salary. Who knew, right? So, and they were just, like I said, one of the things with Flying Wheels now is he's almost turned into an infomercial, and it's really making it hard for me and some friends that watch it to go, man, he used to be a YouTuber. He called himself a YouTuber now, but now he's just turning into a commercial. He's turning into infomercial because all his sponsorships are just, and then he told us, he had a media consultant or a media producer or a media director or something he mentioned on air when he went down to Florida the one time. It's like, so he's basically hired a production company to make now because he thinks he needs that because he's a businessman, and businessmen go, we need to do that. I'm not a businessman, I'm a creative dude. So for me, this is good. I make an okay living, and me being creative lets me do whatever I want. And I hope that some of these people will find out it's harder than it looks to be a one-man band with YouTube, and I am. But I tell you what, I get to do whatever I want, and I can try whatever I want. And about 80% of you guys are pretty cool with what I do, and 20% hate this or hate that, and I apologize and just wait for the next one. So anyway, I just wanted to put this out there because everybody's quitting, and it just is weird to me that they're not quitting YouTube. Like, I don't have to quit YouTube. This is me. You're in my house. Everything you see is me. I don't have a single soul telling me what I need to do, what I don't need to do. It makes it harder, but at the end of the day, I own this. I'm not somebody that has a TV show now on Discovery that has to buy back their name for $3 million or is getting sued and being told they can't say anything. Because the only person I got to worry about is me. And I hope that inspires some of you to go and start your channels and just be you. Even if you were part of a big channel, maybe now you can do your own thing. You're not going to make 60 grand from day one, but I hope you make a living and it's fun. Anyway, happy July 4th, everybody. And I'm still down and out with my leg injuries, knee injuries, ankle injury, foot injuries, whatever. And I'm going to keep doing what I can to keep you entertained. And that's all I can promise. Thanks a lot. Tell your friends if you like my channel. Come and check it out. If you need a job paying 60 grand, I think Donut Media is hiring. I don't know, just making a joke, but hopefully we all figure out that, do what's best for you. Some people aren't as creative, they need that backing with writers and stuff. Some of us just want to do our own thing. All right, guys, please subscribe, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, because about 98% of you, I got 21,000 subscribers and I got over 5 million viewers. So if you haven't subscribed, could you mind? And go back and check out. I got 850 videos. If you've only seen 3 or 4 or 5, go check it out. I guarantee you, if you like cars, whether it's model cars, whether it's NASCAR, whether it's finding cars in barns, whether it's rebuilding stuff, whether it's going to car shows, whether it's going to car auctions, whether it's going to, you name it. If it has to do with a car, it's on my channel. Please check it out. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.